Bitcoin boils the oceans. A single transaction uses as much energy as a house in a month. It is an environmental disaster. If you read the newspapers, Bitcoin is the villain of the climate crisis. They tell you it's dirty. They tell you it's wasteful. They tell you it's destroying the future of our children just to mine magic internet money. Elon Musk stopped accepting it for Tesla because of this narrative. But here's the question nobody asks. Compared to what? Does Bitcoin consume energy? Yes. A lot. But is that energy wasted? Or is it the most efficient use of power in human history? Today, we are going to debunk the biggest lie in the industry. We will look at the data that the mainstream media conveniently ignores, and you will discover why Bitcoin might actually be the key to a greener future. Welcome to Episode 3. Let's follow the energy. First, let's address the elephant in the room. Bitcoin uses electricity. Critics say it uses more energy than Argentina. This is true, but do you know what else uses more energy than Argentina? Christmas lights. Every year, holiday lights in the US alone consume more electricity than many developing nations. Do we ban Christmas? No. Because we value the joy it brings. Do you know what else consumes an insane amount of energy? Gold mining. Digging holes in the ground, crushing rocks, using toxic cyanide to extract gold, and then transporting heavy bars around the world consumes roughly 2 to 3 times more energy than the entire Bitcoin network. And it destroys physical landscapes. Bitcoin does not. And what about the banking system? Think about the millions of bank branches, the skyscrapers with air conditioning running 24/7, the servers, the armored trucks, the employees driving to work. The traditional fiat system is an energy monster. But nobody talks about that. They only point the finger at the new kid on the block. Okay, you might say, but Bitcoin uses coal, it's dirty. This is the second lie. Bitcoin miners are actually the most renewable-friendly industry in the world. Why? Not because they are hippies who love trees, but because they are capitalists. Miners need the cheapest electricity possible to make a profit. Do you know what the cheapest energy on Earth is right now? Solar, hydro, and wind. Coal is expensive to transport. Oil is expensive. The sun and the wind are free. According to recent data from the Bitcoin Mining Council, over 58% of the global energy mix used for Bitcoin mining comes from sustainable sources. That makes Bitcoin one of the greenest industries on the planet. Compare that to the EV, electric vehicle industry, or the banking industry. Bitcoin is winning. This is the part that will blow your mind. This is why Bitcoin helps the grid. Electricity has a big problem. It is hard to transport and impossible to store in large quantities. If a hydro dam in a remote part of China or Africa produces too much energy, and there is no city nearby to use it, that energy is wasted, it literally disappears. It is called stranded energy. Bitcoin miners are like energy nomads. They can put a mining container right next to that remote dam. They buy the energy that nobody else can use. By doing this, they make renewable projects profitable. Without Bitcoin, a solar farm in the desert might go bankrupt. With Bitcoin, they have a buyer 24/7. Bitcoin is subsidizing the green energy revolution. But it gets even better. Let's talk about methane. When oil companies drill for oil, they often hit pockets of natural gas, methane. If they can't sell it, they burn it on the spot. You've seen those flames on top of oil rigs. It's called flaring. Or worse, they vent it directly into the atmosphere. Methane is 80 times worse for global warming than CO2. Bitcoin miners are now partnering with oil companies to put generators right on the oil field. They take that wasted gas, burn it cleanly in a generator, and use it to mine Bitcoin. They are literally taking a poison that destroys the atmosphere and turning it into digital gold. The UN recently admitted that Bitcoin mining could reduce global methane emissions significantly. So, does Bitcoin boil the oceans? No. Bitcoin cleans up the mess that the fiat system created. It uses energy that would otherwise be wasted. It stabilizes the power grid. It funds renewable infrastructure. The people telling you that Bitcoin is bad for the environment are usually the same people flying in private jets to climate conferences. Don't listen to their words. Look at the physics. Energy is the currency of the universe, and Bitcoin is the most efficient way to store it. If this video opened your eyes, share it with your skeptical friends. And subscribe, because in the next episode, we are going to tackle the ultimate philosophical question. Does Bitcoin have zero intrinsic value? They say it's backed by nothing. We will prove it's backed by the most expensive thing in the universe: energy and time. See you in the next one.